Are strategists overpowered in Marvel Rivals? This is a concept that has been floated around by both higher and lower elo players since the release of Marvel Rivals. Firstly, if we consider the core gameplay, yes, there is more healing in the game than other team shooters that you may be used to or may have been playing prior to the release of the game. Some examples are Apex Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, Team Fortress 2 and Valorant. Rivals has infinitely more healing. Okay fine, it's 10 seconds into the video, so here we go. Overwatch. It's important not to use Overwatch as a frame of reference for everything when talking about Rivals, because the games are quite different despite many people critiquing Rivals as an Overwatch clone. Rivals has so much more healing than Overwatch, along with more potent support ultimates that dictate the flow and the pace of the game. So anyways, let's compare them. Zenyatta ultimate lasts for 6 seconds, whereas the shortest duration defensive ultimate on Rivals is Invisible Woman and Mantis at 8 seconds. Lifeweaver ultimate lasts for 15 seconds but can be destroyed, but it only heals for 90 health every 1.75 seconds. This is very little healing when compared to Cloak and Dagger's 250. This is very little healing when compared to Cloak and Dagger's 250 healing per second, and even Mantis heals for 150 per second. So as a general rule, Rivals ultimates heal for a lot more and also last a lot longer than Overwatch support ultimates, but does that make strategists overpowered for the game? I would answer no. It's definitely a new concept to have strategists hold so much power, a concept that lots of tank and DPS players haven't taken too lightly. And there's one strategist that has received an insane amount of criticism since the very beginning of the game, and that is Luna Snow. Now this is what you're all here for. As far as she goes, yes, she is incredibly strong. She has the strongest ultimate by far, it can out-heal a lot of damage, and it is super impactful in the battlefield. However, many players see Luna pop her ultimate and whine about 12 seconds of immortality without thinking critically about counterplay and what they can do in return. I'll go through a few bullet points here to explain why Luna Snow is very strong, but why she's not as overpowered and game-breaking as what people think she is. Number 1. Use your own healer ultimate. While Luna ultimate lasts for a bit longer than the other strategist ults, you can usually wait a couple seconds before you drop an Invisible Woman ultimate, for example. This way you can cover the entire duration of the Luna ultimate. But hold up, here's the crazy part, your team can actually play Luna too. I get so confused when I see players ranting on Twitter and Reddit acting like Luna is some kind of unfair, unstoppable force that you just instantly lose the game against when she presses Q. Your team can do that too? And while you might say, but Sheik, this is really unfair for the game because nothing dies for a whole 12 seconds, or 24 seconds if a Loki copies a Luna ultimate. And yes, I do agree this is an awfully long time to just stand there contemplating life, so let's go over all the ways that you can kill through a Luna ultimate. Counters. There are less counters to her ultimate than the other strategist ultimates because she's immune to crowd control and heals for 250 per second, but here's a list of all the counters I could think of. Iron Man ulti, Magneto ulti, Hawkeye headshot, Punisher ulti, Namor ulti, Human Torch ulti, Magic's one-shot combo with her ultimate, Moon Knight ulti, Scarlet Witch ulti, Penny Mine stacked together, Jeff NATO team up, Human Torch and Storm team up, and Black Widow damage boosted. And on top of that, focus damage by a couple members of your team can also take her out, for example, Moon Knight Ankh combo and Punisher shotgun. Don't forget you can actually deal damage at the same time as your teammates, and the onus isn't just on one person to kill Luna or anyone in her ultimate. Number 3. Try to kill enemies outside of the ultimate. If you don't have a way to kill people inside of Luna's ultimate, it isn't a huge area. It's highly unlikely that all 5 of her teammates are going to be grouped up together. Try to pick off an enemy before they reach her ultimate. Luna will often move quite erratically to save different groups of allies, so take advantage of the allies she leaves without heals. Save your damage and your cooldowns for these moments. Don't just mindlessly spray into the Luna ultimate and burn all of your burst damage. Also, if the entire team is grouped up in a Luna ultimate, this is a perfect opportunity to pick them all up with Jeff or Groot Namor combo and just completely wipe them. Number 4. Insanely strong ultimates. Luna has by far the largest energy cost needed to charge her ultimate, which is 5,000. As long as you're playing a DPS or tank hero to a decent standard, they will be charging their ultimate faster than her. Let's take Star-Lord for example, he charges his ultimate insanely fast if you're hitting your shots. His ultimate easily wipes a team. Without a strategist ultimate to counter him, he at least picks up 3 kills, leading to a victorious teamfight. Many other ultimates have team wiping potential also, so if we make a hypothetical team, Groot, Doctor Strange, Storm and Star-Lord with 2 strategists, there are 4 ultimates that will be needed to be countered with a healer ultimate. 4 minus 2 equals 2, meaning you still have 2 high damaging ultimates left to pick up some kills. As long as you have good ult economy and use it smartly and not by just throwing 4 ultimates at her when she's ulting, Luna is easy to work around with simple mathematics. Number 5. Team wipes. Following on from the prior point, without Luna ultimate, Marvel Rivals would feel insanely snowbally. You either destroy the enemy or get destroyed. The raw amount of damage and playmaking potential in a lot of ultimates makes team wiping easy without the threat of a strong healing ultimate. If DPS and tank ultimates weren't as strong and impactful as they are, healer ultimates like Luna's wouldn't need to match their power, and they would be weaker. Number 6. High elo versus low elo. Luna Snow is a skillful character to play, contrary to popular belief. She requires accurate aim, especially with the amount of characters in Rivals with insane mobility. It's not easy to hit your flying Spider-Man or Star-Lord. If you're not hitting all of your shots, you're going to be charging her ultimate a lot slower, which means that Luna is going to be popping her ultimate a lot less in lower elo games. However, many players won't be aware of how they can kill through Luna's ultimate, so it may seem a bit more oppressive in lower elo. My advice here is to go for easy counters like Iron Man and Scarlet Witch. In higher elo, she will definitely be popping her ultimate more, but she faces more threats as players are more informed, coordinated, and able to pull off higher level plays such as Magic's one-shot combo or hitting all of their Punisher ult shots. Speaking of facing threats, number 7, she has the lowest survivability out of the strategists. Luna is very easy to kill in comparison to other strategists. She only has one tool to defend herself, which is her freeze, and it can be hard to hit. Furthermore, dive characters who are aiming to pick her off will usually hold their evasive abilities until Luna begins to fire her freeze, and once it's down, she's pretty much a free kill. The Iron Fist team up gives her a nice way to defend herself, but he's relatively weak, so she won't get them as much in this current meta. She doesn't have a lot of self-healing like Cloak and Dagger, or multiple ways to peel for herself like Invisible Woman. Luna's passive self-healing is very situational and underwhelming compared to the other strategists, but she did get a nice buff recently with the 50 bonus self if she does manage to land her freeze. So moving on from Luna Snow, the rest of the strategists don't pose too much of a debate besides Loki. Invisible Woman, Cloak and Dagger, Rocket Raccoon and Mantis ultimates are a lot more counterable because they provide less healing per second, they aren't CC immune, and they last for a shorter amount of time, or in Rocket's case you can simply destroy his amplifier. So in addition to the counters to Luna's ultimate that we just spoke about, let's run through a few more that can easily shut down these strategist ults. Storm does 160 damage per second in her ultimate, which almost cancels out the entire healing from Invisible Woman ultimate, meaning that she can be killed almost like normal. Doctor Strange can use his ultimate on anyone who's not Luna and have a very good chance at killing them with the burst damage. A tiny bit of damage from your teammate will suffice. It's extremely easy to land your damage on a stunned target. Emma Frost can stop your healers from ulting in the first place. She can mind control them in an open area and kill them. If the healer is able to break line of sight, then they will still be able to ult, so it's quite situational, but it works amazingly if you can time it right. She can drag people outside of the healing zone with her ultimate and her kick, such as Cloak and Dagger and Invisible Woman. She can drag enemies outside of the healer ultimate with her own ultimate and her kick, such as Cloak and Dagger and Invisible Woman can be removed from their own ultimates. Groot ultimate onto anything but Luna or Cloak and Dagger ult will usually kill, as it's very easy for your allies to follow up. Jeff the Landshot can scoop up enemies with his ultimate who are gathering in a healer ult. Psylocke ulti can kill through Invisible Woman, Mantis and Rocket ultimates if they are by themselves. Wolverine can pick up enemies with his base ability or with his ultimate and take them away from the healer ultimate. Star-Lord can also out DPS a healer ultimate. But if we look at more overarching concerns, no one wants to play support. It can be boring and very unfun depending on the meta. Season 2 saw a brawly dive meta become quite problematic for support players. Playing support in solo queue is a nightmare, as there would always be 2 or 3 enemies diving on top of you. Your team refuses to help you and then flames you for dying. This meta was nerfed quickly, but we saw drastically reduced support players, meaning that most ranked games had at least one person filling the support role, or everyone simply refusing to lock in a support character full stop. As a general rule of thumb, in most video games, players will blame the support player first when things start going wrong. It's easy to say GG no heals just so that your team has a scapegoat and it takes the spotlight off of yourself. On Rivals, you can't see the healing stats until the end of the game, so there's no way to actually prove your toxic teammates wrong until then. But I like that Rivals gives the support role more self-sufficiency and impact on the game in comparison to other hero shooters. It makes the game a lot more rewarding and gives them more incentive to lock in the role. It's definitely a factor that helps Rivals stand out in the hero shooter field. In my opinion, regardless of the role you're playing, it's definitely more enjoyable to not get blown up and actually survive a little bit longer. So overall, the aim of this video isn't to militantly defend Luna Snow and try to convince you that she's actually bad. I know she's a very strong pick, and I've ranked her as S tier since the beginning of the game, but there are definitely ways to play around her as we have just discussed. All it takes is a little critical thinking. If a Luna Snow is really causing that much havoc in your game, learn one of the counter picks. Iron Man is insanely strong right now and easily counters her. If you refuse to acknowledge her weaknesses and work around them, then skill diff or mental diff. The Luna Loki combination that provides 24 seconds of strong healing is a bit obnoxious and unhealthy for the game, I will agree. I think a good change is to nerf Loki's ultimate cost so he can't do this as frequently. I also think that removing 1 second or so from Luna's ultimate wouldn't go amiss, because even though there are ways to play around her, she's incredibly annoying and no one wants to be permanently at her show. With regards to the other strategists, I think they're completely fine. Their ultimates have way more counters simply because they aren't CC immune, don't heal for as much, are smaller AoEs, or are just less oppressive in general. The amount of healing in Marvel Rivals is something to get used to, I will agree. You can definitely feel when your healers aren't very good on your team and it seems like an instant loss, but it's important to recognize that damage is also incredibly strong in Rivals. The healing stats can't be nerfed or touched too much without damage being nerfed also. Let me know what you think about that concept. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and drop a like. Comment below what your thoughts are on Luna Snow and what you think Marvel Rivals should do with her. Remember, you can use code CHIC on the Corsair website to get 10% off of all your gaming necessities. And lastly, I stream on Twitch regularly, so go drop me a follow over there and I'll catch you when I go live. See you guys next time.